Welcome to week 2. I'd like to address 3 points very quickly. Number 1, the class. Number 2, materials and work. And number 3, where we're headed. Number 1, the class. First, thank you for putting all of your photographs and your bios into that first blog. I've gone through all of those blogs. I've copy-pasted all of the photographs and all of the bios onto a single document, and I've given you access to that document. So if you go to the home page, you can click on the link at the very bottom of the home page, and it'll give you those photos and those bios of everybody in your class. All right, so welcome to your classmates. I think it's a cool document to peruse. Throughout the semester, we'll be working with each other in different ways, and so this way you can put faces to names and you can have an understanding of who the other folks in the class are. Now, let me talk briefly about the work and the materials in the class. I think it's fair to say that for some of you, when you saw the first readings, you were a little concerned, right? They seemed strange. The first reading was pretty complicated. I just wanted to give you guys a sense of the sort of work that we'll be doing throughout the semester. So in that first reading, we're actually setting the foundation for the sorts of concepts that we'll be discussing, that big concept of critical literacy and what that actually means. If you open this folder, you'll see that I've put a review in there. And in that review, I try to clarify some of the points that were being made in that article, and I try to clarify some of the issues that you guys raised in your blog entries. So each week you'll see that I do this. I have a review, and I try to make sure that I can help folks better understand some of the new information that I'm throwing at you. Okay? Now, number 3, where are we headed? This week, I'm going to ask that you guys start to practice using some of those critical literacy skills that were in that foundational text. I'm going to ask you to take a look at a couple of other articles and choose an angle, and then go ahead and write an analytical paragraph on one of those angles. Also, I'm going to introduce the novel this week. So when you go into the folder, you'll see that I've put some introductory materials in there about the novel, and I'm also asking you to read the first 30 or so pages of the novel. I think you'll see that as you get into the novel, a lot of the themes, a lot of the ideas in the novel are going to connect to some of the ideas that we've already discussed. These ideas of critical literacy, these ideas of what it actually means to be critical. And so I'm going to ask that you start to build some relationships between some of those initial concepts from week 1 and the novel that you're reading. Ultimately, we're doing all of this to set us up for the first project. In about a week or so, I'll introduce this first project, and in this first project, you guys are going to be writing about a couple of the practice articles that you've taken a look at, some of the ideas from the novel, some of the foundational ideas from the first reading. You're going to put all this stuff together and give me a sense of how you have come to understand critical literacy. So if you have any questions or concerns, let me know. Let's continue with the course. Take care.